Ethan had just finished dinner when his phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. It was his wife, Mia. But that was strange, because Mia was right there in the kitchen, cleaning up. He answered the call, expecting to hear her voice on the other end. But instead, there was only silence. Then a whisper. "Ethan, it's me. Let me in." Ethan spun around. Mia was still standing in the kitchen, humming to herself. But the voice on the phone, that was not her. It was hollow, distorted, almost like a mockery of Mia's voice. He dropped the phone and ran to the door, unlocking it, opening it up, while his heart was hammering. No one was there. His wife's silhouette stood motionless in the kitchen, unaware of the mimic in her home.
What up? Welcome back to the Cracking Cans Podcast, the podcast where we talk all things cryptid, all things urban legend, and all things spooky. And today, we got some real spookiness going on.
We got mimics.
What's the word for January that we're doing in January?
Paranuary.
Yep, that one. Paranuary. Is that it?
Paranuary.
Yep.
So Paranuary. And now you got me all
yeah, I can't do it. It's like ambulance. Just can't say it.
Dude, I struggled with that word growing up.
I did too. I feel like every kid, like there's not a single kid that just nailed ambulance their first time.
I mean, I didn't get it figured out until I was about 25.
I believe that. That all makes sense. Do you know what made me, did you ever see it's like the video online where the old guy just beats that guy up in a bus and he says, "Somebody called the ambulance."
Yeah.
And somebody put that clip over, "Whoa, Black Betty, ambulance, whoa."
I feel like I saw that, yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's what made me like figure out how to say. Now I don't say it right because of that video. Somebody call ambulance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're diving in. We got mimics, and we are back at Rusty Rail Brewing Company.
Back-to-back episodes.
Back-to-back episodes with the Crusty Rail. So you want to tell us a little bit about what we're drinking today? You got to excuse us. We are just some burpy, disgusting guys that are just off work for a week and have just been not taking care of ourselves at all.
No, it's been bad.
I have been having buffalo chicken dip for breakfast, lunch, and snack at the end of the night. That's a lot of cream cheese going in a body that doesn't handle cream cheese particularly well.
I've been eating cookies and beef jerky, so.
Hell yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. You are getting carbs and protein.
Yeah. And there's a lot of smells going on down here today, not just from us, but had a skunk in the yard recently, big old skunk. Some would say the biggest.
Dude, it was white too.
Oh yeah, he was big.
That dude is close.
He was stuck in my dog's fenced-in area. I was throwing snowballs at him. Had to run out and open the gate, and then ran away so I didn't get sprayed. Wife got a nice video of that, of me running out the driveway to the yard.
Somehow I didn't get to see that video. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But then it burrowed underneath our little fence outside the garage, and I thought he was gone, but we could smell him tonight.
Oh,
so.
he is close. He is close. And then I was texting you because you're like, I don't want to open the garage door right away because there's a skunk out there. It's like, oh, that's cool. So I like pulled up and I'm standing there by the door, and the smell, I swear the smell is just getting stronger and stronger. It's like, dude, you got to open this door. Like, I'm getting scared. I don't know where he's at, but he is close.
He's close.
Yeah.
So we got that smell, and then my cat Dale.
He has problems.
Don't worry about my other cat because she's pretty She's pretty good about.
She covers her poo up.
Yeah, Dale.
Dale does not.
Dale boy just squats, lets it out, waddles away.
Yeah, it's not good. There's a lot going on
A lot
down
of smells. So
right now.
if we stop talking all of a sudden or hear a loud crash, it's because we passed out.
It could happen too.
So beer.
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 Yeah, that'll help. That'll definitely help the gas and belly issues I have going.
So Rusty Rail Brewing Company, second one of them in a row.
Second one, we had the sour.
It was Tart Patch Kids?
Yeah, Fart Patch Kids, I think. But it had like Sour Patch Kids looking thing on the can.
Yeah, wasn't the greatest.
It was good. If you like sours, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
If you're stupid like Corey and don't like sours, then you're just like, ew, disgusting.
So today we got Alone in the Woods, which is a 5% black lager. And on the can, I always mess this up, but it says either on the can or on the site, it says smooth, medium-bodied lager with subtle roasted notes and a clean finish.
Yeah, it's not on the can.
So it was on their site.
Yeah.
But I know Mike did Rusty Rail last week, so I'm not going to really dig into their brewery. It's, great scenery, great atmosphere there. It's really nice.
That's where I got married.
It's where
Drop that again.
It's where Mike married his husband.
Yep. Bob.
So, Alone in the Woods ties into
What's funny about that, Corey? I don't understand.
Nothing. Alone in the Woods.
Bob likes you. He does a lot for you, and I don't see what's so funny about that.
Because I always thought you'd marry a Richard. All right. Alone in the Woods ties into the theme of mimics by evoking the unsettling feeling of isolation and deception. When you're alone in the woods, it's easy to imagine hearing voices or footsteps that sound familiar, but no one is there. This sense of confusion and fear mirrors how mimics in folklore often deceive by imitating voices or appearances to lure people into danger, playing on the disorienting feeling of being alone and tricked by what seems familiar but isn't.
And I like it because that's where me and Bob like to go for our walks in the woods. So cheers to that.
Cheers. This ain't bad. I mean, I'm not huge into stouts and stuff.
This is a lager.
It is a lager, but I feel like it has that stout back end to it or something.
Yeah, it's got that darker malt.
But it's not.
Just by looking at it, you can see it. But it definitely, I feel like it drinks more like a stout than it does lager.
Yeah, I think so too.
It is good. It's I feel like it's a good January beer.
Yeah.
So fits in as far as that goes. I like it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
If you're into stouts or lagers, check it out. It's a pretty solid brew.
We got a stout lager.
A stout lager. Or as I like to call it, a slogger.
Slogger.
So,
I like it.
So now, Corey, on to the episode?
On to the episode.
All right, so beer out of the way. Just get right into it. Corey, what is a mimic?
You know what, Mike? I'm glad you asked.
Whoa.
I'm so glad you asked. I was waiting all episode. So.
I don't care. Yeah, you lost me. You took way too long doing that. You've already lost me, and I just don't even care what they are anymore.
A mimic.
A mimic.
Is a supernatural being or entity that copies the voices, sounds, behaviors, physical looks, mannerisms, etc. of the living.
Yeah, so like if I was going to mimic you, I would just draw and act stupid. And then people would be like, holy cow, I can't tell which one Corey is. Sorry, that was a low blow.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I'll get you back. So mimicry is a tactic that different entities use in an attempt to disrupt the living in some sort of way. So a lot of the research and things that I've read, I mean, some people have some different views of like this subject, but like I think I'll explain this. I don't believe that a mimic is its own type of entity or creature, but it's a skill that an entity learns for several different reasons that we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, what would those reasons be? So interesting.
So I don't think there's like a specific, you know.
There's not a mimic entity.
I don't think so. No,
or like a mimic ghost.
I think they're more like we'll go over some of the different, you know, reasons and like what mimics, like what they mimic for and stuff like that. But I think it's just I think it's just a skill, basically, that a lot of times demons use.
Well, yeah, I feel like if they're like learning a skill, it's not going to be for anything good.
If I was a spirit, I would definitely come mess with you.
Yeah, you'll regret that. You'll regret seeing the things I do in my room by myself when nobody's around.
I can only imagine.
There's a lot of dancing, and there's not a lot of pantsing. I'll tell you that.
All the sounds I hear just sitting here with you.
Yeah, they're not good. Not
I
good.
can only imagine.
And that's that. Yeah, and I'm like trying to refrain myself. Like I'm just gonna freely crap my pants in the comforts of my own room.
Yeah.
Throw them in the corner, and that's probably where you'll be. They'll just like land on your ghost head.
You'll just see them floating in the air because they just landed on my face.
Oh, you'll be so mad. Like, oh, man.
You'll just see them take off, boom, right into the door or something.
Dude, that'd be good.
I'm trying to get out of there.
That would be good.
Yeah. You'll just randomly be throwing shit around your room, just hoping I'm there.
Always.
Yeah.
I do that now for the Hat Man.
Yeah.
Mostly salsa to see if he's bringing me anything good.
Yeah.
Give me the tacos. Yeah.
Yeah. And something that like I think of about that is when a person has an entity that is mimicking, I think it's creepy. Like it digs another layer of creepy and takes it a step further, because my thing is like, how long was this entity watching and studying you to learn everything about you before it started using it against you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And well, I guess that it makes you wonder. So do they just like sit and study you, or is there a way that they actually like dive into your mind?
Yeah, yeah. Like, are they sticking around, just studying, watching, learning? Or are they able to just real quick just tap into your soul or something?
Yeah,
and just pick it up.
And
I don't know.
So are a lot of these entities, are they already attached to someone when they do this? Like I know a lot of times you hear about people get like ghosts are attached to them or demons are attached to them, and a lot of times like people always refer to a lot of people that feel these things like they have like almost like a sixth sense, like they're like closer to that spirit world. Like I don't pick up on that stuff at all. I don't know. I figure it's like you've talked before in episodes about how you've kind of had like a couple experiences before.
Yeah.
So I do think there is something to like some people will just naturally have like a closer connection to the spirit world. Yeah. So I wonder if that would have anything to do with it. And I know a lot of times spirits will try and attach to those kind of people, you know.
Or you even hear about, you know, just if the spirit is attached to a specific house when a person moves in, then like it attaches to you. Or if you build a house on a piece of land that you know has all these bodies buried.
Yeah, Indian burial ground stuff like poltergeist kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, then it kind of just attaches to you. Then.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know.
But yeah, I guess I was just curious to see if like the mimics were typically people that had paranormal experiences going into it.
I don't know. I'm in a lot of like Facebook groups, like paranormal groups and stuff, and I see like people posting mimic stories pretty regularly. Yeah,
and they're like it's freaky.
Yeah.
I always for the contest, we just ran a contest on Facebook back last month, and I know one of the days we did like a 2-second horror thing. I always remember one of the ones that I read online that I always thought was the most scary, and I'll probably just like totally butcher it, but it was my mom yelled for me for the kitchen, so I hopped out of bed and ran down the hall, only to see my mom, or as my mom pulled me into the closet in the hallway saying that wasn't me. You know, like stuff like that's what I always think. Like that's what I think of mimics.
Yeah.
You know, and why are they calling you?
Well, I got some different reasons.
Yeah, I'll be anxious to hear. Yeah. It's really cool. I think it's like mimics are just spooky as hell.
And I have some stories here that I'm going to go over where it's like with like little kids and stuff.
Yeah, which is even more freaky.
That's like as we talked about in other episodes of like the Black-Eyed Kids and a couple others, like that just throws a.
So they use little kids to be like to call, like they use a kid's voice to call, or they call two little kids.
They like pretend to be like a little kid to bring you in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, using the vulnerability of.
And dude, that's why I don't help kids ever. Unless they look like they're tasty.
That's why Mike has a lot of kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many. That's why I'm all gray.
Just in your beard.
Yeah. Well, not just in my beard. I'll show you later.
So the idea of mimicry in the supernatural world has been around forever. And we'll talk about it a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of different cryptids out there and other urban legends that use mimicry.
You're going to talk about it later?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool. I was just going to ask you, but yeah. Well,
I have some ones on here and kind of how they use like mimicry and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's been around for forever. Not necessarily always called,
A
mimicry
mimic, yeah.
or a mimic, but it's, they use similar behaviors and stuff. So there are different kinds of mimics that we'll talk throughout the episode. One of the most well-known types of mimics are called doppelgangers. And this is the part that I really struggle with. Like, I know I was texting you about it because I'm like...
Yeah, and I think we were on the same wavelength for how we thought.
Yeah. Doppelgangers, the idea behind doppelgangers has been around for many centuries. However, the term originated in Germany sometime in the 18th century. The term doppelganger, from the German doppel, meaning double, and ganger, meaning goer, so double goer, refers to a person's exact double.
Freaking Germans, man.
I know, we reference them so much.
I know, dude, they're awesome. We got to go there someday.
Yeah. Well, I told you, my buddy's over there right now. He's stationed for like 3 or 4 years in the Army. He's trying to get me over there. I just don't have the funds to...
Yeah, or the time, or...
or anything.
There's a lot of things that children seem to get in the way of that,
Yeah.
and families, and that's okay.
If somebody could just, come up with like teleportation anytime soon, then I could, teleport over there quick. But
That could be a whole episode.
yeah, it's on our list.
Yeah.
I think.
If it's not, it should be. Our list is just way too long as it is.
Yeah. So in a paranormal sense, it's often associated with a spiritual or supernatural manifestation rather than a mere coincidence of appearance. So there are several interpretations of what the doppelganger represents in the paranormal realm. So a ghostly twin. So in the paranormal view, a doppelganger can be seen as a ghostly or spiritual double of a person. It may appear to the person themselves or to someone else, often without the person's knowledge. The appearance of a doppelganger is often a sign of danger or imminent misfortune. Some believe that seeing your own doppelganger is an omen of death, or that it signifies a split in one's soul.
Ooh. So, remember that movie Us?
Yeah.
Where it's like the doppelgangers come out and just kill all their...
Isn't that a...
Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw the whole thing. I think I saw some of it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
That definitely dives into the whole doppelganger
I saw that one coming up a lot.
world and stuff. Yeah.
Looking into this.
I know that movie, it was one of those movies that got a lot of flack. And I could see why, because it was just definitely more of a straightforward movie. Like, I guess there was a twist to it, but it was one of those movies where you could see the twist a mile away, But yeah, that was cool. That's like the only movie I can think of. That, and you ever see How I Met Your Mother?
Some of it.
Yeah, so like all the characters throughout the show, they find each other's doppelganger. Like the one that always stands out to me is Robin is the one good looking girl on it and stuff, and her doppelganger is lesbian Robin. I just remember she's just walking down New York and she just spits her tobacco in the trash can, It's yeah.
That's funny.
I think one of them's a Mexican wrestler is their doppelganger. I don't know, all their doppelgangers are hilarious, but that's what I always think of that show immediately when I think of doppelganger.
So what else? An evil twin or shadow self. The paranormal doppelganger can represent an evil twin or a dark reflection of the individual. It's believed that the appearance of such a double might indicate the presence of a negative force, whether demonic entity or psychic disturbance. This version of the doppelganger is usually malevolent, acting in ways that are harmful or sinister. It can be associated with possession or negative energies.
Makes me think of Santa and Krampus right there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought of too, right, when I saw the evil twin.
Yeah, he is Santa's shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one here for doppelgangers, a harbinger of death or fortune. In many folkloric traditions, doppelgangers were thought to be bad omens. Encountering one can mean impending death or misfortune. Some legends say that if a person sees their own doppelganger, it is a sign that their soul is fractured or that they are fated to die soon. In some cases, if a person sees their double in the act of committing a crime or behaving immorally, it could suggest that their spiritual essence is in danger or has been compromised.
Okay. So it's like somebody's using their soul to commit crimes?
Kind of, yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a soul hitman?
Yeah. Soul hitman.
Voodoo doll type thing?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I got for doppelgangers. I just kind of threw that in there because a lot of when I see stuff about mimics, doppelgangers kind of comes up as like a, synonym or like the same thing.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense in that way.
But I don't know. Like the way I look at it is like a mimic is like mimicry is like what they learn to, mimic others.
Yeah, it's not like
the
who they
skill
are.
learned. Yeah.
They just which is I think we said it. It makes it just scarier.
Yeah.
That they are just plotting to just take you over.
Yeah.
All right, so you said you had a story from a podcast, though, you were listening to.
Yeah, so I was listening to Ghostea Podcast. So
Ghostea.
Ghost,
like a ooh.
yeah, spelled ooh, ghost.
Ooh.
And then EA at the end, like T-E-A, ghost T, one
like
word.
the stuff we threw into the harbor.
Yes.
Because we're freaking not having taxation without representation.
Absolutely. Even though we probably pay so many more taxes now anyway.
Yeah, well, it's different. It's our taxes now.
Yeah. So the Ghostea Podcast, and I thought
if it wasn't for Paul Revere just saving our ass, we'd all be drinking that freaking warm ass nasty tea.
Yeah.
No offense to you tea fans out there.
Yeah.
But you're stupid.
Yeah. But you're stupid. So I was listening to a Mimics episode from this Ghostea's podcast on YouTube.
Ghost, like, ooh, tea, like the British are coming.
Let me drink my tea. Like, I don't know what this is.
Tea, like, oh, look at me, I'm drinking tea.
Yeah, like,
I'm so
you gotta
cool.
put your finger up when you drink it, because, So they talk about this family whose house had some mimic entities or mimic, I don't know, energy, something going on there.
Multiple entities, you think, or?
I don't know if it was multiple or just one, but
I guess it would be hard to tell.
yeah,
If they're mimicking, and you don't know how,
I don't know.
like they just stand on the other side of the door and pretend they're like 7 people, and it's like, I don't know how many's out there.
Yeah.
It's just like one like guy.
Yeah, one dude.
Yeah, like one like 2-foot spirit out there, like, oh, they're so scared of me.
Yeah, who was a loser at some point in time. And now he thinks he's king shit.
We'll call him Corey. Sorry, Corey. I'm gonna be nice to you the rest of the episode. I've been extra mean this episode. I'm sorry. It's been a real Grinch after the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite of a Grinch. Once Christmas is over, it's like my life has no meaning. I'm just miserable.
You're the after Christmas Grinch.
Yeah, it's just winter now.
So the entire family had some type of experience with the mimics. And the family was made up of husband, wife, and their young child, who was probably around the age of like 2 to 4 years old. So there was like 3 different experiences. So each of the family members had some type of experience in a way with like a mimic. So the mother was the first to have an experience when she was trying to get her son down for a nap during the day. She heard someone come into the house and they started making coffee, followed by tea in the kitchen.
Oh, now I see why Ghostea covered that one.
I know. I didn't think of that either.
I see it now. Makes sense.
Assuming it was her husband, as he would do this often. Did you just poke yourself in the eye?
Yeah, with my glasses. Trying to put it back on.
What the hell? You're supposed to see with your glasses. And your glasses
I can't see without them. Sorry.
So the wife was assuming that it was her husband, as he would do this often. But when she looked at the clock, she realized, like, well, he's still at work. Like, he shouldn't be home yet. So she went out in the kitchen to look, and nobody there.
Bum, bum, bum.
And And then, like, she said her son, too, who she was trying to get down for a nap, also heard, like, something out there. You know, like, I don't know exactly what he was doing, but somehow he was, like, you know, looking around, and, like, he knew that somebody was out there walking around, basically.
Okay.
So then the husband had an experience similar shortly after, where he was trying to get their son down for a nap. And this is, like, the same thing. It's just, like, him experiencing it now. So, like, this ghost just
He was making coffee, though.
the spirit just must really like their coffee and tea or something. But anyway, the husband was trying to get their son down for a nap and heard someone walking in the kitchen. He even heard this person put their jacket down and started making something in the kitchen. So, like, I guess the wife, whenever she would come in, you know, she put her jacket, purse down, whatever, and it'll make, like, a certain sound. Like, you could pick up on that, you know, the patterns over and over again.
Yeah.
And, like, he heard these things happening. So, like, the mannerisms, footsteps, everything sounded just like his wife. So, husband went out, checked in the kitchen. Nobody was there. Just nothing.
Okay.
Now, this is where... This is, like, once you start getting the kids involved. Now, this is where,
I don't like it once.
So...
I don't like it.
So,
I don't
like,
even know what it is. I don't like it.
So, like, during both of these situations, the child heard the mimic as well. Like I said, he was, like, you know, looking around, like, you know, making, I don't know what, if he said anything or anything, but, like, he was making some type of notions that, like, you know, he knew somebody was out there. So anyway, the one night, the husband woke up and heard their child crying in his bedroom. So then the husband wakes up the wife, because, you know, that's what we do as husbands. Husband woke up the wife, who went in then to the bedroom to, you know, tend to the kid.
I go with I didn't hear it technique.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I close my eyes a little
I
tighter.
do that too. Yeah,
I roll over.
Yeah, a couple extra snores.
And then she'll be like, "Didn't you hear the baby last night?" It's like, no.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
As I'm like chugging my 5th cup of coffee because I was up just as much. So it's not like there's no point to me not doing anything.
So when the mother got to the boy's door, he was already out of bed and in the process of opening the door. So the mother, knowing that the kid was at the door trying to open the door to get out, she was kind of pushing the door, like, slowly, not to knock him over, to kind of get in the room. To avoid knocking him over, she saw him standing in a white nightgown. The thing is, their child didn't have a white gown.
Yeah, who the hell has a white nightgown? Like, what year is this?
And he was wearing, so when they put him to bed, he was wearing Spider-Man pajamas.
Well, hell yeah, just like me.
He wasn't old enough to change himself. It was just like Mike.
Yeah, also like me.
So as soon as the mother saw the child realized, you know, white nightgown and stuff. She looked over to her son's bed, saw her son sleeping, like, son fast asleep in his bed, and then she kind of looked back into, like, the doorway where the other kid was standing, and gone. So
I feel like,
and the crying stopped too.
Yeah.
So, like, the mimic was crying as well to get her attention. Her son wasn't crying.
But didn't wake the kid up though, crying.
Mm-mm.
Which is interesting.
No.
What
Did
if
not wake the kid up.
Yeah. The one with the kid would be scary. You wonder how much of it falls into that, like, weird, like, you're still half asleep when you get back to the bedroom, so you know you kind of. But that's spooky.
Yeah,
like, that's
but
creepy.
The
that
thing
they
is,
both heard it.
There's another story I'm going to go over at Reddit that's very similar to this one.
Okay.
And, like, there's a couple I've seen on Reddit too where it involves like kind of kids in, like, this situation. So,
well, yeah,
like,
you figure it. Like, you know how it is. If your kids are crying, you are going to have quick response.
Yeah.
If my wife makes noise in the kitchen, like, I'm not just going to, like, hop up to run out to the kitchen if it's something she should normally do, you know?
Yeah.
And that part of the story is just, like, the part where I'm just like, because I feel like maybe you have something in your house that makes a noise that sounds similar, and you can just envision like, you just see in your head your wife coming in, setting her coat down, so you just play the rest of it out.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, after hearing that story, is why did the mimic want to get them in these rooms?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because it's
like,
not like it didn't do anything.
And there's some reason. Actually, you're taking us into our next section.
Okay,
The next section is going to be reasons for mimicry.
Perfect. So we don't have to dive into it now. Then that's good.
Yeah. So we have several reasons of why these things could be mimicking. So
we getting into them.
We're getting into it right now.
Let's do it. I'm in.
So number one, predatory nature.
Predatory nature.
So
Explain.
this kind of goes back to like Hatman and what was the other one we did? The witch thing, the
Boo Hag. Yeah.
Kind of goes into that, so to speak. So mimics often target humans as prey to feed on spiritual energy, fear, or life force.
That makes sense.
So demons and parasitic entities might imitate human voices or forms to lure victims, creating opportunities to feed or even consume them physically, like Wendigos or
Wendigo. Yeah.
Wendigos.
Yeah.
Or cryptid mimics.
Yeah, I always thought mimics were, because like Wendigos are more of like a Native American.
Yeah.
That's something that would be like really cool. Like I feel like if we dive into those, we need to like talk to somebody that is actually in that culture, because there's a lot to it. But I think people refer to them as like skinwalkers and stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah,
but,
we're gonna go over like some of that too, like the skinwalkers and stuff. Like that's.
But do you ever feel that sometimes like a spirit just wants you to know that they're there? Like that's a way for them to feed?
Yeah.
Like, and I guess it's a little bit fear based, but really just to like know they're there.
Like
so
just
if
like
they
attention.
Yeah. And then if they ever do need to cause a little bit of fear, like your mind's going to go right to that it's a spirit.
Yeah.
Whereas like before, if they got to try and scare you, they got to do something big. But if they already have it in your mind that they're in that room, it's like little small things they can do. They can just eat little snacks, instead of having to do like the big full meal.
Yeah. Like Beetlejuice.
Don't say it again, you son of a bitch.
We got two.
We do not need him here.
He'd make a good guest.
Oh, he'd be real good. Yeah, he'd be fun. Screw it, Beetlejuice.
I'd shit if that garage door opened.
Showtime.
Yeah, it's showtime. Number 2, psychological manipulation. So mimics can use deception or disorient or control their victims. By imitating familiar voices or appearances, they can cause fear, doubt, or psychic distress, making it easier to manipulate people's thoughts or actions, sometimes leading them to madness or wrong decisions.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I feel like when I think of mimics, like that is what I think a mimic wants to do. It's just kind of get you to do what they want and drive you a little bit crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of go off the first one too, like about them like using humans as prey for like their energy and stuff like that to regain or reboost like their lacking energy or whatever to make them stronger.
A little snack.
Yeah,
just a little snack.
The snack that smiles back.
Goldfish.
The next one, replacement or possession. Some mimics seek to replace or possess humans. Doppelgangers may try to swap places with their victims, while shape-shifting entities, like skinwalkers, may take over human bodies, often leading to loss of control or spiritual displacement.
Yes, that's like more in the demonic realm as far as the skinwalkers go.
Yep.
And that's kind of what the movie Us is.
Yeah.
That like your doppelganger wants to take over your life.
Yep.
So, makes sense. I see that.
The next one, trickery and deception. So mimics often deceive humans to lure them into danger or mislead them. They may impersonate loved ones or familiar figures to create trust and then exploit it. So like mimicking voices to trap travelers or trickster spirits testing people's morality. So
try to just get the hiker off the trail, stuff like that. So is it just in the way they just want to be? They're like pranksters.
I think
like
it's
just like evil pranksters.
They're just like they're just playing games, like keeping themselves
entertained.
They're
like they have nothing better to do.
Yeah, like what?
Than like get old Charlie off the path and get him like so he twists his ankle out in a boulder field and dies. Yeah,
and, sit and drink a beer, laughing about it with your buddy.
Do you think spirits drink beer? Like they probably drink it, but it does nothing.
Well. Maybe it's like called something else. Like maybe they have some other type of thing that they drink.
Wine.
Like not not something that we know about. That's what I'm saying. It's like the spirit version
like Brumschnickel. We'll call it that.
Yeah, that works.
That's what it'll be called.
From Germany.
Yeah. It has to be German. There's no doubt it's not German.
Yeah.
When you're talking about naming creepy stuff and booze. It has to be from Germany,
Yeah.
those two things.
Yeah. Next one, fear and suffering. So many mimics thrive on fear and emotional suffering. By creating eerie or unsettling situations, they can feed on the fear they provoke, such as shadow people or poltergeists who create an atmosphere of dread to gain energy. So it goes back to the first one about
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
energy. I think this one's kind of interesting. Teaching or testing. So some mimics are tools of supernatural forces that test or teach humans. They might impersonate trusted figures to challenge the victim's virtue or intuition, forcing them to confront spiritual, existential, or moral dilemmas.
Like A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Charles Dickens knew. So did the Muppets.
Yeah. Good
The
old,
best of all Christmas carols.
good old Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one here is revenge or retribution. Mimics can act out of revenge or retribution. Spirits or entities may impersonate loved ones or familiar figures to punish individuals who have wronged them or violated sacred laws, causing emotional turmoil.
Or violated them.
Sexually.
Yep.
Often leading to the victim's downfall.
Gross.
What?
Just thinking. Could be gross.
She could be hot.
It's not a she.
The boo hag.
It's not a she. Oh no. It's a big feller.
Going back to Bubba.
Going ham. Going ham in that ham, you know. what I'm
Bubba's
saying?
going ham. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's kind of the I guess reasons for mimicry. So I don't know which one, like I know you kind of already talked about it, but like which one do you kind of lean on as like the reasons for it?
I think the second one you said. I can't remember
The
exactly.
psychological manipulation.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just to make you a little bit crazy. I also think it's that prankster one. Like one of those
Prankster.
two.
I think it's the energy one too, like personally.
Yeah, they want
to make them
sucks them
stronger.
in. Yeah. So you think it's like the Christmas Carol one?
I don't think it's so much that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it. I just don't see anything good coming from it.
But no, I think it's like like the trickster one, or like them just trying to just disorient, control their victims just by causing great fear.
Yeah, that makes the
And
most
then-
sense to me, I think.
Yeah. Or if it's Mr. Hat,
Oh,
he's got to get that energy, you know. Suck or the boo hag,
Well, Boo Hag's got to get new skin.
like a Slurpee.
Yeah, she needs to get new skin. So she's going to fillet you.
Yeah. So that's the reasons for mimicry.
That's
So-
it.
All right, we heard the theories. Now we're going to Reddit.
Let's head to Reddit.
Reddit user itty bitty 216.
Oh, shit. Itty bitty 216. I wonder what's so itty and bitty, you know what I'm saying? That's something I haven't heard in forever. Itty
Itty
bitty.
bitty.
That was like big when we were in middle school.
Yeah, itty bitty.
Everything was itty bitty.
So
Takes me back to my youth.
around 15 years ago.
That's about this time we're talking. Back to my youth.
This would have been, so when this was posted in my math that I did, 2007-ish.
Okay. You're in middle school then?
I don't know what I was in 2007.
Stupid. I know
Might
that.
have been 8th grade. I don't know.
Yeah. It depends. Depends if it was late 2007 or early 2007.
I don't know. Whatever.
I do. I know what you are.
So shut your mouth. All right. I can't even think. You got me
All you
off
have to
this-
do is read.
So around 15 years ago, when both of my kids were toddlers, I was putting them to bed one night, and my son was adamant that he wear his favorite red race car pajamas.
Ooh, dude, I have been there to that fight.
Yeah.
Your kids getting huge like fights for their pajamas.
Yeah, and they're dirty, and it's like, oh, I want those ones. And I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
dude.
they're in the hamper. They're dirty.
Dude,
And I'm like, whatever. Yep, all right. So I dig them out of the hamper and I throw them on them because I'm not putting up with that fight at,
it's the
that
worst
time.
when you dig them out and go to put them on them, and then like my boy will realize he doesn't want them on because they're dirty, and it's like, what the hell do you possibly want? Like, what do you want? I just need you to tell me what you want, and I'll get it for you. And he doesn't know. That's the issue. That's the biggest thing, is he has no clue what he wants. He just knows he wants it.
Yeah. I happily obliged, helped him change into them, and tucked him into bed. Then I sat down at my kitchen table with a friend who had come over to chat and catch up.
A little wine. Whining and dining, I
Wine
bet.
and dining and Netflix and chilling.
Ooh, or it could be like a new daddy over there.
Yeah,
You know what
or
I mean?
an old daddy.
Ooh, the old daddy's out on the road. New daddy's there. Whining and dining and 69ing.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Or 96ing.
Ew. Gross. What's that, like butt to butt?
The way that my apartment was set up, you could see my kid's bedroom doorway from the kitchen table. My friend and I were talking for a while before we were suddenly interrupted by the sound of my son screaming. We both turned and looked at the bedroom doorway and saw my son standing there loudly crying, shrieking, and wearing his green pajamas with airplanes on them. Everything inside of me was screaming that this was wrong. The hair on my back, or the hair on the back of my neck.
Hair on her back.
Well,
Sorry.
hey.
She was a bit of a large woman.
The hair on the back of my neck stood on end, and cold shivers shot down my spine. My friend and I stared wordlessly at each other for a second. We both knew that my son couldn't change his pajamas by himself yet. We looked back at the doorway, and my son was gone. We ran to the bedroom and found him tucked in his bed, still sleeping peacefully in his red race car pajamas.
Son of a bitch. Why? So do they have to just like get a pair of jammies out quick? Like they can't use the ones the kids are wearing. Can't they manifest the right pajamas? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why is this such why are
if you're-
jammies such an
that's
issue
true.
with
That's
you
true.
mimics?
Like, if you're mimicking what the hell a
You're-
person looks like,
Yeah,
how the
you
hell
are
can't you
taking
mimic
their
what they're
looks,
wearing?
You are taking their voice. You are taking everything about them, but I just can't. I can't make myself wear them red pajamas.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Maybe that's part of the scare factor too.
Yeah,
is to like
probably.
they don't want to be perfect. They want to let you know
There's gotta be
that they're not
something.
right.
That's like the black-eyed kids with their eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they try to act normal and stuff, and then it's boom, the eyes, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, the eyes. I wonder if it was just something they couldn't copy.
Yeah.
Maybe the jammies are the same thing, or the clothes
Yeah.
are the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's weird though.
it is.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work to go through to just like screw up on the pajamas.
Yeah. My friend asked me if I saw him standing there in his green airplane pajamas, and I confirmed that I had. My friend freaked out and left.
He says, "I don't want to be these kids' daddy," and off he went. That had to be a he.
I wonder if it was after the Netflix and chilling though.
Nah, he was whining and dining. He was.
Yeah, it was still whining and dining.
Yeah, it was early.
That sucks. My friend and I still
That sucks, he says.
My friend and I still talk about it to this day. It's one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me. My son, of course, doesn't remember any of it.
Because he was sleeping.
Yeah, he
What would
was
he remember?
sleeping, yeah. But he loves hearing the story of how his doppelganger scared the crap out of us.
Yeah, I don't know if I would
LOL.
love to hear that story.
Yeah, I don't think
It kind
I
of
would.
freaked me out that my doppelganger was that close to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So that was that story. But like I said, it was similar to the first one
Yeah, it
from
was.
the
Which makes sense.
Ghosties.
It just still gives me that question of why. What's the point? What's it,
It's
just
gotta
trying
be-
to scare you?
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, just like trying to just strike fear and sucks off your fear.
Because like I'm thinking about it, like if they wore the same thing, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
my son. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's my son.
Yep. So there'd be no point to it.
And it
So
wouldn't scare them.
it's obviously not trying to take over the life.
Yeah. Just trying to get your attention.
Wonder how much energy it needs to like manifest
to
this
do that. Yeah.
doppelgangerness.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot.
You would think.
The next Reddit user, Woodland Warden.
What up, Woodland Ward? I bet he knows a hide behind her too.
Yeah.
Being the warden of
He
the
probably knows how to
woodlands.
swing a log too.
Swing a log. All right.
My girlfriend and I were setting up some furniture
Oh, I know what that means.
in her basement.
Oh, yeah.
In her basement. And we know about basements and attics from the Hide Behind episode, I think. With squirrels. Squirrels in the attic.
Oh,
Squirrels in
yeah,
the
yeah.
basement.
Squirrels. Which one's dirty? Squirrels in the basement's dirty? Squirrels in the attic.
Well, he
Yeah,
had
I don't
squirrels
know.
in his attic, and I was like, well, at least they're not squirrels in your basement.
Yeah, that's true. And that's street name for crabs.
Yeah.
Go on. Crabs in your undercarriage. Go on.
Okay, so
Like crabs just in your pubes. You know what I mean? Go on. Go
I
ahead.
name each one of them though.
Your crabs?
Mhm.
How many you have?
Today?
Yeah. I mean, you name them.
Well, they grow each day because they have more.
How many names you got?
85.
I'm calling bullshit because there's no way you could think of 85 names.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go through the yearbook.
I use AI.
Oh, yeah. There
I
you
tell her,
go.
give me 85 names for my crabs.
There you go.
And she just. But I tell her to do boys and girls. So.
Well, yeah, you don't want
Because
to be.
you don't know.
Do crabs have a gender, or are they one of those genderless things? Now I got you stumped. These are the kind of, if you're going to start researching these episodes, this is the kind of stuff you actually have to figure out.
Well, you see, it's 2024, almost 25. So it don't matter.
It still does.
I'm just going to read this whole thing over again. My girlfriend and I were setting up some furniture in her basement of her house.
Oh, yeah.
I told her I'd be right back. Went out the door and up the stairs to get to the bathroom.
Grab me a condi on the way out.
Did you ever see? Okay, it's throwing us off topic again. But it's like, I don't know if it's a joke or like what it is, but it's like, it was this guy in there and like the girl wanted to like, get it on and stuff. And he runs out this car to get his condom, comes back in. It was like his twin sister. And like everybody in there were like, or not his twin sister. It was, shit, how did that go?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Is this a real story or is this like a commercial?
It was like, no, it wasn't a commercial. Maybe it was commercial. It was like, okay, I think he was like in the house talking to like his girlfriend's like sister or best friend or something, and she like wanted to get it on. So like he runs out to his car to get a condom that he had in his car, comes back in, and like the rest of the family or like her, like they all came out like clapping and stuff because he did the right thing. Because they didn't know that he went
What
out.
the
They didn't know that
hell?
he went out to get a condom. They thought he like left the situation. Like,
Okay, no, I have never
Yeah,
seen that. It's pretty good though. I like that.
shit, I don't even know where I was at.
Go upstairs to the bathroom.
Okay. God, I feel like I should just read this whole thing over again.
No.
Okay.
Just go from the bathroom.
She had come
We'll
up.
never get done.
She had come up a minute later and was
Ooh.
asking if I had come back downstairs. I hadn't. She began to explain to me that I came back into the basement, stared her down, and walked into the laundry room. She went to investigate to see what was wrong with me, but nothing was there, and I had been in a whole different area of her house. The house was built in 1912, and it's very active. Her mother has seen a mimic of my girlfriend a few times as well.
Damn.
So,
How old's your house? Your house old?
it's like I think like the 70s,
Oh,
so not too old.
Yeah.
I don't buy a house under like 1970. It's just more spooky to me.
Yeah, mine's like 1920. Great Depression house. So
The older a house is, the more people that could have died there, and the more hauntings that could be happening.
yeah,
in
it's
my
true. Somebody's got to be there to keep them occupied, though. I'm telling you, like, people need to. Not people don't need to see it. The spirits, like, they see the shit that goes on behind closed doors with my house, and that's why, like, a house could be haunted as shit. If I'm there, I'm just saying, if I'm there, and the stuff I do, it's disgusting. It's not right, but it is what it is, and the spirits ain't bothering me.
I guess whatever you're doing, keep doing
Yeah.
it. Just-
Like I feel like if I went to like the Warren Museum and you like put me in a room with Annabelle for like 3-4 days,
She would just melt.
like she would come out like holy hell, take me back to hell right now. I cannot stand being around this dude anymore.
The energy this guy is giving off, I don't want.
Dude, there is shit going on in there that is just downright diabolical and wrong. The body should not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not worried. Like, I buy the hell out of a freaking haunted mansion. Freaking better watch out for Mike's coming in, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, Hattie knows.
You're freaking right. I'm freaking ghost moving out when I'm done. Damn.
So we got one more Reddit.
One more Reddit.
I don't even know how to read this one. Reddit user.
4 straight, 4. There's definitely Hawaiian in there. I think it's like for straight, for life, Hawaiian. That's what I'm going to go with. But there's like all 4s instead of A's. It's freaking weird.
Oh, it does look like Hawaiian.
Yeah.
For straight life, Hawaii. I don't know.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, it's 4 STR 4 LH 4 W 4 II 4 N. Okay, here we go. We're going to a sketchy motel.
Oh, and we're going to be in Hawaii. Honolulu, Hawaii, ho. Miki Liki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
I was waiting, making sure.
That's the island greeting that they send to you. Go ahead. I'm done.
I was about 9 years old in some sketchy motel.
Oh, let me guess. Mom was a prostitute.
Maybe.
Could be.
I'm thinking like a Red Roof Inn or like a Red Carpet Inn.
I'm thinking like one of those ones that aren't actually like named. You know what I mean? Like it's just
like people live there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about near us. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
I always joke with Kendra. I'm like, I want to stay there.
So there's a guy. I heard this story like it was before I started at work, but this guy got divorced from his wife and he had to move into this like really crappy hotel. And yeah, so he stood at this hotel that had this big like castle out front. And when they were tearing it down, one of the guys that I work with pulled in, got him a rock from the castle and took it, and he like still has it in his bar to this day from when he got divorced and had to stay in the sketchy ass motel. But it was really close to like the one really crappy strip club and the one really good strip club.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. I've never been to a strip club.
Kendra and I went in New Orleans.
Yeah, I am way too cheap to go to a strip club.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see that?
I didn't spend any money there.
Did you ever see the Al Bundy in Married with Children when he goes to a strip club? So he like gives him his $1, but he has a fishing string on it, so he pulls it back. He just keeps giving him the same $1. That would be me. Like I could not. It's like I am not giving anybody my money. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I picture it being, one of those like random, just not like a
yeah. And I've been to a bunch of them too, just by working at the aging office and having to like help people.
Yeah,
I've had to. They're disgusting.
Yeah, we had to stay at one when I worked down south, and it was like, dude, there was like marks where you can tell they just took the mirror off the wall and just like snorted cocaine. Like there were just cocaine lines going across it, and it's like, I left my bag in the truck, and I didn't change my clothes. Because it's like I knew I was catching like some kind of like nasty ass bed bug from that place. And I was not doing it.
Dude, some of them, they're disgusting.
Yeah, but that's what I picture.
That's what I got too. So, my family used to travel for work and stay at these places all the time. I begged for them to let me stay in the room alone because I was exhausted. So they did while they went to the grocery store. I jumped around, had a great time, and ate some snacks and watched cartoons for about 15 minutes.
15
minutes.
15 minutes. Holy hell, that was not what I expected. Man, okay.
But after that, I was afraid of my family coming back and catching me having fun instead of sleeping. So I laid on the bed and pretended to sleep. About 30 minutes later, my family opened the door. The cold PNW air, Pacific Northwest.
Makes sense.
Air brushing into the room and over me. They loaded in bags and spoke about where to put stuff away. I was uncomfortably cold from the draft and irritated that they would leave the door open for so long. After about 10 minutes, the door closed and there were no more sounds. Everyone was gone. I opened my eyes and there were no new groceries, no nothing. The room looked entirely unchanged. About 5 minutes after that, my family got home. They unloaded all the bags, denied having been home before this. I called the hotel, called the hotel, and all staff denied coming in. It was the creepiest thing I've ever experienced. I heard their voices, the bags, and felt the cold air. Nothing was stolen.
I think it was just like had way too much sugar, fell asleep, and just like a vivid dream.
Could be, or it could possibly be one of these other theories that I'm going to get into.
Sweet.
As well. So.
Yeah. Because I don't feel like that totally matches up with like any of the mimic theories.
Yeah.
In that way. I guess maybe just the story that you talked about from that podcast. Besides that, yeah.
Yeah. And I think this story is going to lead into one of the other theories that I have.
Okay. So. Cool. All right, so we got the Reddit stories out of the way. Let's dive into some theories onto what these, I don't know, I guess what they are.
Yeah.
What they is.
What they is.
What they wants to be.
So theories. Some of this we've already touched on a little bit throughout the episode. First one, demons. So in traditional folklore, demons are often associated with deception, illusions, and the temptation of human weaknesses. Mimicry can be seen as one of the most insidious ways demons operate because it involves assuming a familiar or harmless form to lure victims into a trap.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like that was a theory that we kind of agreed on with earlier with some of the what the hell they are.
Yeah, and some of this is going to kind of carry over, but the other one, or the next one, is trickster figures. So many mimics in folklore are seen as trickster spirits, playing pranks.
Yeah, so we're 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah. Tricksters often appear in cultures worldwide. Loki in Norse mythology, Coyote in Native American mythology.
Oh, and like the Roadrunner and Coyote?
I'm not sure what Coyote that's referring to. I didn't dig into that, so you guys could do that on your own time.
Jeez. You think a guy presenting the episode would figure some stuff out for you, but you?
And mimics could be seen as a manifestation of this. These figures may take on various forms to confuse or mislead humans, teaching lessons about trust, vigilance, or the unpredictable nature of life.
Wow.
Wow.
Just wow. Coyotes, wow.
The next one, psychic projection or split personality. One theory suggests that a doppelganger is not an actual entity, but rather a psychic projection, an out-of-body experience, or a manifestation of the subconscious mind. According to this idea, the doppelganger could represent a split personality or a psychic fracture. This can occur when a person's inner turmoil, guilt, or unresolved emotional conflicts create a visible double or shadow of themselves. This projection could appear to the individual or even to others in physical form as an apparition or a ghostly presence.
Yeah, spooky.
So it's kind of digging into like the mental health type stuff.
Also like the vision of a soul in a way, I guess.
Yeah. Now this next one I think is freaking awesome.
All right. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah. Overlapping timelines or alternate dimensions.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, that kind of dives into...
So, overlapping timelines or alternate dimensions refers to the concept often found in science fiction that multiple realities or timelines exist simultaneously where different versions of events or people can coexist, potentially interacting with each other, even though they are technically in different dimensions or timelines.
Yeah, I feel like I don't totally...
Oh, I got some more here.
I guess nobody understands
other
dimensions,
it's like,
so it's like I don't get other dimensions, and I don't think anybody else does either.
What we can comprehend, I feel like.
Yeah.
At least me.
If it's even a thing.
Yeah.
When it boils down to it, yeah.
So these theories propose mimics are individuals from alternate realities or timelines who cross paths with their counterparts in our world. In these cases, the mimics might not be malevolent, but instead simply a visitor or a person out of sync with the natural flow of time. This theory borrows from the multiverse or quantum theories of parallel worlds.
Sure. Those words.
Hey, I got some more here about this because I thought it was cool.
All right.
Multiverse theory. So this concept is often tied to the idea of a multiverse, which suggests there are many parallel universes, each with its own set of rules and histories, potentially branching off from key decision points in time. Quantum mechanics. So some interpretations of quantum mechanics, like the many worlds interpretation, propose that every possible outcome of a quantum event actually occurs in a separate universe, creating a vast array of parallel timelines.
If you dive into it,
Dude,
if you get into every decision creates a parallel universe, there's like an infinite amount of parallel universes.
Yeah, it's nuts. Time travel implications. So in fictional narratives, overlapping timelines can be explored through time travel, where characters might encounter different versions of themselves from alternate timelines. And this is an example scenario. So a character makes a different choice. In one timeline, a character chooses to take a different job, leading to a completely different life, while in another timeline, they stay in their current job, creating two parallel realities. Parallel universes with slight variations. So two universes might be almost identical, but one has a small detail changed, like a character's eye color being different. So there could be two dickwads out there doing a Cracking Cans podcast right now.
Well, one is like a smart Corey, and one of them's a dumb Mike, which would be totally opposite of what our show normally is.
Well, I was going to say, instead of a black butt plug in their butt, this Mike might have like a clear butt plug.
How do you know about my butt plug? Are you sniffing it or
no,
what?
It fell out the one time you
He's
got up.
sniffing. It all makes sense now.
How would I be able to tell it was a black
Butt
plug by
sniffer.
sniffing?
Because you're there.
How am
You
I
pick
going to
it up
sniff?
and sniff it.
Yeah, oh, it's black.
Well, I mean, you have eye. What are you Stevie Wonder over here? That you just operate with your eyes closed? Oh, I can't see anything. Oh, I pick something up and spell it. Ah. If you use your nose, you can still have your eyes open.
Yeah, but it stays in your butt the whole time. It's a butt plug.
You just said it fell out. I'm using your words against you.
It's a different reality.
Stupid Corey, smart Mike. The other reality is smart Corey. Right now, Corey is making Mike feel so dumb because he's fighting his argument about butt plugs. And in the other reality, Mike's there like, "Nuh-uh! I can't sniff with my eyes open."
Yeah. So that's that.
Son of a bitch. That escalated quickly.
It did. So going back to the root of the episode, what theory do you kind of lean on?
What theory do I lean on?
Like the demons, probably like the
Yeah,
demons.
I think it's a demon.
Trickster figures, maybe.
A demon that wants to just suck all your energy from your fear. And yeah, trickster, I would say would be number 2. But yeah, pretty much those are the two that I would lean towards.
I like the I mean, I like those two as well, like the most. But I just like the timeline one, just because it's like
timeline one's fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because like I could just, I mean, like being creative and thinking about it, like if that's actually a thing, like I got another timeline of me living in this house. One slight variation: my son wearing these pajamas in this reality, but wearing the other pajamas in that reality. That reality crosses over to this one for like a split couple, seconds of time or whatever. And then I see that one. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense if it's actually a thing. I don't know.
It makes sense and just doesn't make sense all at the same time.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, because it's like at least I don't think there's anything that proves that that's a thing right now.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like anything else. It's proven, or it's a possibility until it's proven it's not, which can't be proven, but it also can't be proven it is. I don't think it'll ever be able to be proven it is. It's weird.
Yeah. So that's the theories, folks.
All right, what we got next?
We got some pop culture.
Pop culture, let's hear it.
I don't want to dig into it too much. So pop culture, Twilight Zone talks about doppelgangers. The movie Us that Mike's already talked about.
Like 7 times.
Star Trek.
Star Trek? for all our Trekkies out there.
Yeah. The X-Files.
Of course, that Supernatural has to have some kind of doppelganger one.
Honestly, I didn't see.
You better get Aaron on the phone.
Yeah,
from
phone a friend
from the Snallygaster episode, because that dude will remember some doppelgangers.
Yeah,
I know that.
Phone a friend. What else? The Thing. Which I never saw that movie.
That's probably if I had to rank like the best horror movies ever, like it's in the top 3.
I don't, because it said what I got here is one of the most iconic films dealing with mimicry.
Yeah.
The Thing is about an alien creature that can mimic any living organism it comes in contact with. It uses this ability to impersonate crew members in a remote Antarctic research station, causing paranoia and distrust. The fear of being unable to tell who is real and who is a mimic is central to the film's horror.
Yep. You never saw it. That's like a...
I've heard of it a bunch of times, and like I've seen stuff about it.
It's been remade a bunch, but I think the one by... who's the guy that starts it? Well, your brother-in-law. That's who the first time I watched it was at his house.
Yeah. Big head.
The big head. Ask him about it. It is awesome. The special effects in it are super cool. Really like neat and kind of before their time, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is that all the pop culture stuff?
No, there's some more. It Follows. I don't know that film.
That's a good movie too. Dude, these are awesome horror movies, man. These are classics. Like It Follows is like one of the best modern horror movies.
Are you like just
I'm dead serious.
It
right
Follows
is
I
awesome.
cannot tell when you're being
It Follows is awesome. That's about like a sexually transmitted demon.
Are you sure?
I'm 1,000% sure.
You ever see the Teeth?
I've heard of it, where there's teeth in a vagina. Yeah. Yep.
It doesn't relate to the episode, but I just...
No, It Follows. It'll just like take over anybody's personality, but it's always following you. The only way it can be passed around is through having sex with somebody else. It's passed on to the next person until they die, and then it's brought back to you.
There's a couple other ones. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
You know that one too?
Uh-huh. That's a classic. That's from like the 60s.
Yeah, 50s, 1956 and 1978. Yeah. So no 60s.
Okay.
It's all right. The Last of Us video game.
Yep. They remade it into a TV show too.
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, we talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
Never saw that. I don't know. I couldn't get into Black Mirror.
Yeah. So like some of these might not necessarily like be, all about mimics or doppelgangers, but they have like some aspects of.
Well, like Black Mirror is like Twilight Zone, where it's all like different. Every episode's like a whole new story,
Yeah.
What else you got?
That was pretty much it for like the pop culture.
What's it say about It Follows? How does It Follows deal with doppelgangers?
In this psychological horror film, the monster is a shape-shifting entity that can take the form of anyone, including people the victim knows.
Yeah, that is not a doppelganger movie.
While not exactly a mimic in the
Yeah.
traditional sense, the creature's ability to disguise itself as anyone in the victim's life creates a similar sense of terror.
But I think it makes itself just random people too. It's not always like people in the victim's life, you know what I mean?
And that's kind of what I think of like with mimics or like mimicry, or like shapeshifters and stuff. Like
Shapeshifter.
I know we haven't dug into the old Sasquatch yet, but like
Yeah.
I feel like that motherfucker just shapeshifts into like trees and shit, and that's why you can't see him, or like rocks or like bushes. Like I feel like he just has that ability to just change himself into like
a chameleon kind of.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
That's why we can't find him.
That, and he'll only appear to people that have flip phones and Parkinson's.
Yeah.
That doesn't help either.
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
But like, what if like a lot of these cryptids and stuff have like that?
Yeah, it would make sense.
That other ability to like mimic and shapeshift and all that stuff, and that's why like we can't find them.
It would make sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this laying in bed the other night.
Yeah. Oh, the weird things you think of.
The other thing I have on here is like different types of mimics, which we already talked about, like doppelgangers, impersonating ghosts or spirits, shadow people. Like we talked about kind of like the Hat Man and stuff, who not necessarily like mimic, but I know we tied it in with like sucking the energy from people and stuff, but Wendigo. Skinwalkers.
Winnebago.
Poltergeist mimics, trickster spirits. So like, yeah,
Wendigo.
we kind of talked about them all. So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of it.
We scoring?
I think we're scoring.
We on to the folklore score.
We're on to the folklore score.
Folklore score. Woo woo. All right, we're back with our folklore score, and right now the Watcher from a couple weeks ago is on the chopping block. 59 is the score to beat. We got Krampus up top at 74, the Watcher at the bottom with 59. All kinds of random shit in between. So Corey, you ready to unveil?
Let's do it.
I got a 29.
29.
29er. We're going double 29ers. 29 times 2.
58.
58. Which means it's not making the board. It just misses out.
Close.
It just misses out with the Watcher with a score of 59. And I think, and this is what I find interesting, mimics don't make the board, but I think that some of the things that mimics are believed to be could make the board later on.
Yeah.
Like I think a Wendigo could make the board, stuff like that.
Skinwalkers.
Poltergeist, stuff like that could possibly make the board. So we'll go through our scores quickly. For spookiness, I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah, so pretty close, pretty spooky. For historical and cultural significance, I gave it a 6 because of a lot of the stuff with the Native Americans and things like that.
I gave it a 7. Same reasons.
Believability, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5 too.
For
Pretty much I gave it a 5 just because I'm in the middle because like I've had some like paranormal stuff happen, but I haven't seen or experienced anything related to mimics. I've just read stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I've seen some stuff, but I haven't seen this, so I'm just right in the middle.
Yeah, it's hard if you don't actually just have it right in front of you to believe it, you know?
Like, yeah, if that shit was going on right now, like 10.
Yeah, no shit. If I'd see the boo hag walking right now, I'd also give it a 10. For uniqueness, I gave it a 7.
I give it a 7 too.
Yeah, I thought that was stands out from other legends. I think a pretty good score. And for threat level, I gave it a 3.
Give it a 1.
Yeah, it does not seem super threatening.
No.
Maybe it's threatening, and the stories where it is threatening, you just never know anything about it
Yeah.
because it eats your babies.
I think it just gets off in the
Whoa.
shadow realm.
Golly, it just gets off.
Yeah, like that's not threatening to me.
Yeah.
Like
You're right.
I can't see what you're doing. Like whatever.
Yeah, I don't care if you live off fear that much. It doesn't really affect me that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like if you're never mind.
Yep, probably better.
Yeah.
As soon as Corey hits a never mind, I know we're better to just move on from that topic. I've made the mistake in the past of being like, no, go on, Corey. And then he goes on a rant, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm glad I have the delete button to edit that later.
Yeah.
So with that is the first episode of 2025 in the books. It was a fun one. Got us into
Paranuary.
Damn it. Can't do it. I nailed it last episode.
You did.
Paranuary.
Yeah.
Drew Carey. My cousin Larry.
Mariah
so with
Carey.
that, Mariah Carey. Whew, she's done. She's done for till next year. She's back. She's frozen again.
Yeah, we gotta keep that shit.
For Christmas is you. So with that,
Katy Perry. Chuck Berry.
All right.
What else you got? Come on.
I don't know. It's run its course. Well, how far do we go?
I won.
I guess. It was a competition and Corey won. So with that,
You're thinking.
I'm Crack Daddy Mike and I am out.
I'm butt crack.
Yeah, he is.
I got rid of the Corey.
Yeah, he's just butt crack. I like it. I'm out of here. See you guys next episode.
See you next year.
No, we're in next year.
Yeah, it might be our last episode. Who knows what'll happen from now to then?
You're right. This is like the first week of January, and Corey's already calling that we're probably not going to be back till 2026.
What if something happens? I'm in a coma till next year. Like,
Oh, I'll keep the cast going without you.
All right,
Me and Aaron will keep it going.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just be talking about the old Scallygaster every episode. All right, I'm out of here.
Bye. Mike's dumb.
Nope, missed it again, Corey. Corey's stupid.
Mike.